Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well today, or at least better than I do, because I suspect that I might be going down with a cold. Vince has been sick for a whole week and I started feeling some symptoms also, so yeah, that's not great. I hope they won't get any stronger. But in the meantime, I've already been in my new Passport Traveler's Notebook setup for a week. And so I thought I would do an update and show you how it has been working for me so far. So let's start with the setup. I use a blue Traveler's Company cover. I added two charms, the heart one and the moon. And I think these golden accents match the blue background so well. I'm very, very happy with it. So yeah, that's the outside. And on the inside, we have a Moleskine pocket notebook. I also have a craft folder insert. So at the front here, I just have my wedding picture, and in the back, I keep any spare pictures and also my color coding dot stickers. I started using Stalogy ones and I absolutely love them. I love the colors, they are so aesthetic. So yeah, it was a good decision switching to these early, not waiting for the new year, because they make me very happy. And yeah, now I will show you the inside of my notebook. So first of all, my color code changed a little bit, not only because I changed the colors, but also sections wise. So the light blue one is for any books, movies, and TV shows thoughts that I have. Purple one is for stationery related hobbies. So for any journal planner thoughts, but also like photo album ideas or just anything that's related to stationery. I use this pink one for personal stuff, so it's mainly anything else that just doesn't fall under any other categories, and usually it's memories. I use a silver dot for my Portuguese language learning notes. The gold one is actually a new category. So previously I had a whole separate color for writing notes, but now that I moved my writing notes to a separate notebook, I decided to use the spare dot for moving/a home section. We are currently in the process of moving to Portugal. We actually found a long-term apartment. We're getting all the necessary documents and drafting the agreement. Anyway, document stuff is happening. But if everything goes well, next weekend we should get our keys. So that is very, very exciting. And obviously I'm making a lot of notes. Right now it's moving related stuff, but later I think it will just transform into decorating our home and getting settled. So I see myself using this section at least until the new year. And then if I don't need it anymore, I will just switch it to something else. I think I will keep the golden dot kind of like a temporary section due to what I need at that moment in my life. So right now it's moving and home stuff. And we will see what it turns to in the future. And then finally, this copper dot is for content creation. So basically YouTube notes and ideas. Then we have November cover page, very simple, nothing fancy here. And this was my first day in this notebook. I glued in the paper that came with my cover just to document that I got it here. On that weekend, we also visited Porto's botanical garden and I really liked it. It was way more raw, you might say, wild than I anticipated. I am used to botanical gardens being like this touristy spot, like very pretty and tailored. I don't know, they feel almost a little bit fake. They're very well taken care of, let's just say that. But this one kind of felt wild and I loved it. I love the atmosphere. And when we went inside to ask if it's free to walk around, they gave me the leaflet and I was so happy to get it because I knew I'm gonna glue it in my journal. It's the perfect ephemera and I feel like we don't get a lot of ephemera nowadays, like in the sightseeing spots. So yeah, this was very exciting for me. Then on Halloween, we watched Over the Garden Wall. It is our tradition to do that every year, and I never get bored of that. I love this mini series. It's so funny and so cozy and just the perfect vibe. So yeah, we did that. Then here we thought we found the apartment. We were very happy with it and I could already see us living there. And so we made a proposal, but unfortunately we were a little bit too late. It was already reserved. Other people took it before us, so we were just not quick enough, and that was very sad. I remember just grieving the loss of the life I already saw having. I actually didn't expect to get so emotional about such a thing, but yeah, looking for an apartment is a very tiring, exhausting experience, at least for me. I don't really enjoy it. Well, I think I did in the beginning, but then the longer it lasted, the more tired I got, and it started feeling like, let's just take any apartment, it's fine, which I don't think is a very good approach. Then here I was trying to cope with the apartment loss by looking for inspiration on Pinterest. Then I finished reading Made by Ellie Hazelwood, and I had mixed feelings about this one. I really like the writing style of Ellie Hazelwood and her sense of humor. Her books are always such an easy read and so entertaining and just fun. I like the slow burn also. I think the main male character was a very nice choice. But there was also stuff that could be better, like too much politics. I'm not really into politics when it comes to fantasy books, and yeah, I was just not very interested. And the spice was also a bit too much for me in this book, like in this series generally. It was raining a lot here lately. It's not unexpected in Porto, especially during colder months, but still it was raining a lot. I started reading The Witch Would Not, this one, by Olivia Atwater. It's the same author who wrote Half a Soul, which was one of my 5-star reads this year. And so far I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of like a haunted manor setup, and I really like the main character. I think she's very smart, and I like that she has ironic sense of humor. She reminds me a little bit of Emily Wilde. Not entirely, but she definitely leans towards that character type. And it feels a little bit darker than Half a Soul, which I also prefer. And I think I will continue reading her books in the future because I just seem to really enjoy them. And then here, finally, we found another apartment. And here the craziness starts, like the Pinterest inspiration pictures and playing with IKEA tools to try and set up our rooms. Yeah, I think this is happening. We still need to wait until we sign the lease, but there's a good chance that it might be happening. And so I'm really struggling to just keep myself composed, to not get too excited. I think I'm very excited, actually. So I did get sick in the end, but now I'm feeling better. And honestly, those several sick days were kind of an eye-opening experience when it comes to my 2026 planner system. Until then, I was very undecided what I want to use for the next year, and I was still considering different options. But now I've made my decision and I'm very happy with it, very content. I think it's just the best option for me, and I'm very excited to start using my new planner. But first, let's fill you in what happened in those days. So I was doing a lot of brainstorming, like trying to decide what kind of planner would work for me and what kind of size and all of that, like doing lots of mind maps and all that. Then finally getting very sick, but also deciding. So I feel like those sick days made me less tolerant for discomfort, and life right now in this weird in-between state in this temporary Airbnb is already very, very uncomfortable. So when my notebook started feeling uncomfortable, that was kind of the last drop of patience I had. I think the main problem is the size. It's just too small, and mainly because I do most of my writing with my notebook open on my knees. So getting to this bottom part of the page is just really tricky. Like I have to do weird yoga poses to be able to write here. And yeah, that's not ideal. Also, another thing I noticed is that my brain really struggles when my main planning and daily pages are in separate notebooks. So right now I do my planning in my old Hobonichi Weeks Mega because I still have already empty weekly spreads there and monthlies, and all of my daily pages are in this passport notebook. But for some reason, if I focus on this notebook, then I completely forget my weeks and then I struggle with planning. I reached a point where I just felt this urge to draw a weekly spread in this notebook just so that it would be a bit more comfortable. And that was when I knew that this is not really working. I still think this is a very cute setup and an interesting experiment, but thinking about 2026, I don't see this happening. And spending more time here, I just realized that I just really miss my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. It was kind of like a perfect setup for me. It just works. It's like a planner piece for me, at least in this stage of my life. And when I admitted that to myself, that I miss it and that it just really works, I made a decision to just get a Hobonichi Weeks Mega for 2026 too. My main issue with that, why I didn't pick it in the first place, was that I know that I can only fit 4 months in one notebook. So knowing that, I would need 3 Hobonichi Weeks Megas in a year. And at first I didn't really like that idea. I thought I can find something more sustainable so that I would not need to have to switch notebooks so often and like leave lots of unused planning space in the beginning of the notebook, like monthlies and weeklies. But the more I thought about it, I realized that this is actually really good for how I plan and how I function. I noticed that I get bored after 3 or 4 months anyway. I just need some changes. And so moving into a new notebook could be like a perfect solution. Using Hobonichi Weeks Mega notebooks for the next year would be like a VEC system, similar to Hobonichi Cousin VEC. Like there's one book for first half of the year and then another book for the second half of the year. So instead of that, I would do a new notebook every quarter. And that actually turns out very neat because if I start my new Hobonichi Weeks Mega in December, then I will use it for December, January, February, and March, which are all like these colder months and what I consider in my head winter. Then the second one would be April, May, June, and July, which are all like spring, summer vibes, like very different aesthetic. And then August, September, October, and November are very autumnal months. So it really works thematically almost. And yeah, now that I've made this decision, I just feel so relieved. It's all good again. And yeah, you might wonder what am I going to do with my regular Hobonichi Weeks that I ordered. This one, and don't worry, I already have a purpose for this one, and I think it's a good one, like a very practical one, so it will definitely not go to waste. And I will be starting my new system on December 1st, so I will use this notebook for the rest of the November, and then I will start my new system. And yeah, several more memory keeping spreads. So here I doodled a makeup brush because I couldn't find my trusty pressed powder foundation here in Portugal. They just don't sell it here, and the shipping is very expensive from other countries. So I had to do some research and find an alternative. So I will be trying a new one. We will see how that goes. And finally, the biggest news and the happiest news is that we finally got our home. We signed the lease contract and we have the keys and we will be moving very soon. And I'm so excited for that. You have no idea. And yeah, I still need to glue in the picture. I'm still waiting to collect 6 pictures. And also you can see these postcards here. So I will just quickly show you them. Before I got sick, I wandered into this street market and I found this local artist selling her postcards. I want to send postcards to my friends and family back in Lithuania, and these are perfect for that. So I got the sourdough bread. It actually has a recipe on it, so they can follow that. The same with carrot cake. And then I have two Portuguese. These are traditional Portuguese recipes. So pastéis de nata are these desserts, and francesinha is a proper meal. And yeah, I don't think they will be able to follow these recipes because they are in Portuguese. But I just thought that the postcards themselves look very cute. So yeah, they are by Paulina Peach, and she's on Etsy also. So definitely check her out if you're curious. I think, yeah, they're just really, really beautiful. So yeah, that's it with my update this time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!